Welcome friends, so in this I'm going to show you how to find the following. 5 over 6x minus that says 7 over 8x. It looks like a plus, but it's meant to be a minus here, okay? Be careful with that minus. 3 over 4y plus 2 over 9y, and then 7 over 4d minus 5 over 6d. The denominators are all slightly different, but also a little bit the same. Like this is x and x, only difference is 6 and 8. Y and y only difference 4 and 9. D and d only difference is 4 and 6. So you have to look at the LCMs first. Let's look at the first one. I'm going to write the LCM all the way over here. So you got 6x and 8x. What you want to do is just write out the multiples of those two. So like for example, 6x multiples. So 6x times 1 is 6x. 6x times 2 is 12x. 6x times 3 is 18x. And then 6x times 4 is 24x. And stop here. That's 24x. All right, next one you have 8x. Write out the multiples. So 8x times 1 is 8x. 8x times 2 is 16x. 8x times 3 is 24x. And stop. Now you have what you need. This is 24 right here. Right, and this is 24 right here. So 24x is our LCM for the first one. Once you have that established, then you can proceed as follows. You can say 5 over 6x, and you have to multiply by 4 over 4. Again, that's a form of the number 1. Remember that? Minus 7 over 8x. So that's going to give us here, let's see, 3 over 3. And then you worked with that. So 5 times 4 is 20. 6x times 4 here is going to give you 24x. All right, next one, minus 7 times 3, which is 21, over 8x times 3, which is 24x. And then you worked with that. So it's going to give you negative 1 over 24x. 20 minus 21 is negative 1. The denominators are the same, so you copied it only once, and that's it. And then it's pretty much finished. All right, so the answer is like in this box. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Same principle. You have 4y and you have 9y. So 4y and 9y. Let's just look at the LCMs of these. I'm going to go with the bigger 9y first. So like 9y. Look at the multiples. So 9y times 1 is 9y. And 9y times 2 is 18y. Okay, 9y times 3 is going to give you 27y. And then 9y times 4 is going to give you 36y. And look at the multiples of 4y now, accordingly. Okay, so this is a 4 here, 4y. So 4y times 1 is 4y. 4y times, for example, 2 is 8y. And now the issue is because 4 is a pretty small number compared to the 9, you have to make a long list of these. So I'm going to put ellipses. That means I'm not showing every step, but eventually, by doing 9 times 4y, you will also reach 36y right here. So that means that what we are looking for is 36y. That's the first one shared between the two lists. That's the same for both of them. So apply that. It's going to be 3 over 4y. You're going to multiply by 9 over 9 because, again, this here is a form of the number 1. All right, I have to be careful with my 9s and 4s and all that. Plus 2 over 9y, and you're going to multiply by 4 over 4 because that's a form of the number 1 right here. All right, then you go to that. So 3 times 9 is going to give you 27, and 4y times 9 will give you 36y. Then you're going to have plus, next one, 2 times 4 is 8, and then 9y times 4 is going to give you 36y, and now we have the same denominators and appropriately changed numerators. Then, because the denominators are the same, you just copy it once, so 36y. And then 27 and 8 is going to give you 35 over 36y. And that's the answer in this case, right here. All right, so you see I'm making lists of the LCM just like you make them for simple numbers like 9 and 4. Same principle applies here. I'm just not going to make a list until the very end, because you can probably tell already it's D and D is already the same, but 4 and 6, they have an LCM of 12. So you're going to go with 7 over 4D and multiply by 3 over 3 because that's 1. And 4 times 3 is 12. All right, and then minus 5 over 6D. And multiply here by, let's see, 2 over 2. That's a form of the number 1. And then you go through this. So 7 times 3 is 21. 4D times 3 is going to give you 12D. Minus 5 times 2 is going to give you 10. And then 6d times 2 is going to give you 12d. and then you finish that up. So 21 minus 10 is going to give you 11. The denominator is the same at 12d, so you just copy it once, 12d. And so it's 11 over 12d right here, right? This is the answer. If you need to see the denominator step or the LCM step, well, again, you got to put down, what was that? Let's see, 4d. All right, look at the multiples and then look at the multiples of 6d carefully. So 4d times 1 is 4d. 4d times 2 is 8d. 4d times 3 is 12d. 6d, so 6d times 1 is 6d. 6d times 2 is going to give you here, let's see, 12d. And you can tell that 12d right here, right, is the LCM. It's the first expression shared between the lists perfectly. And these are examples of doing these. So I hope it's been helpful, friends. Please leave a like, please subscribe, please leave some comments. I read them, I use them for improvement and such. Anyway, so please leave a like, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in another video.